This has traveled for a very long time, so when you see this, it is familiar but yet refreshing. The main aspect of it is the world, after all this exposure, instead of we all coming together in today's time, we have a lot of differences. We try and identify the differences. But what this story tells you, it's about larger good, it's about humanity. And in spite of all the differences, in spite of all different cultures we have, how do we come together? Because by the end of the day, all of us are humans and our emotions are same. How do we bring the world? Should respect each other, different culture, should exchange their values, really express our originality also. I think that's where Ramayana comes. It's beautiful.
That same bit of the vibe and the energy, what was that bond like, getting to know each other, getting to work with each other, and having to kind of turn that on its head?
You know, honestly, I guess you haven't read the Ramayana, but Ram and Ravan really meet at the end of the film. Maybe a meeting in the middle.
Just going up and down.
With his aura, with his starting, with his outlook to play this role. He's played it with so much of swag, with so much of aura, with so much of honesty that, he's really made Ravan come alive. Over the years we've had a very stereotypical version of Ravan. That which was just black. We never saw anybody go deep into the characteristics of Ravan. I think the ministers, the writers, the makers, Yash, they all have aware the character of Lord Ram is concerned. I think it's needless to say that Ramayana and Lord Ram have been the conscience people for millions of people across the world, for generations, and they will continue to do that. Lord Ram is someone who enlightens us about the triumph of human spirit in times of adversity. He's somebody who stands for compassion, for forgiveness, righteousness, goodness. He's known as Maryada Purushottam, which means an ideal man. The perfect son, the perfect husband, the perfect teacher, the perfect student, the perfect brother. I remember when I was offered the film from Namit, my first initial reaction was fear and absolutely not. I realized that actually that fear turns into gratitude.
I'm watching.
Opportunity of a lifetime. It's an opportunity coming to me in this phase in my life and I can change for the better. I also think of our coinciding with the time of this film of so over these 3 years, telling my daughter about stories of Ramayana, going to set and actually performing those stories. It's been such a spiritual growth for me in the last 3 years that I only have gratitude for that.
That's so beautiful. That's so wonderful. The righteousness embodied.
So Ranbir's late grandfather, he's the 4th generation film industry, which is pretty unique in itself. I think Ranbir, you want to tell us about
work for something. And I love that, it takes a righteous man to think I could not play a righteous man. The embodiment of the character. It's so beautiful.
I think that's the most important thing. I would like to add, nobody in this world can come and say that I have the virtue to play Lord Ram. That's how just the fact that he said I can't do it says it all. Like you said, and he's a fabulous actor. I'm telling you guys, it's not easy to play Lord Rama, and the way he has really worked, and it's easy to play. Huge respect to him because he's a fantastic actor, a big. You guys will witness a beautiful Rama with a great intent and with great sacrifice he has done this. I should really be telling you guys that.
That's that energy I was talking about. It's beautiful to see, man. I love it. And then that bringing the world together and all these details, also tying into the stories that we know that came from this. We spoke about the bow, and that blew my mind. And then you also mentioned Avatar, and that blew my mind. And there's so many stories that are in these hollowed halls, sacrosanct. I'd love to hear some of the influences that all audiences might not realize we've already known.
and Lord Vishnu you see in the land of water, the God who's actually on the water, and who sort of preserver of all life on planet Earth. So, depending on who you speak to, they'll say that Lord Ram is an avatar of Lord Vishnu, who came to Earth to protect against any disbalance of power. So that's sort of this, if you think about it, that inspiration, that visual likeness is true. Culture has had for decades, for generations.
It's incredible. I experience it, and it feels like a story. Talking about becoming a father and this timing, it'll just evolve for you as a person, and that's so special.
I just like my mentioned in Ramayana.
Really?
Yes.
Ramayana and Pushpaka Vimana.
I'll just tell you one small incident which happens, Lord Hanuman is extremely protective of Lord Ram. So, he is not letting Yama come close to Lord Ram. Yama is a god of death. So he's saying he can't come close to Lord Ram. And Lord Ram knows his time has to get over at some point of time. So he has to distract Hanumanji. So he drops his ring into a crevice, and that crevice is endless. And Hanumanji goes chasing for that ring. And he reaches really near the netherworld kind of a place. And he sees a mountain of rings. And he asks someone out there that, how do I find which that ring?
Yep.
That's
right
the
here.
which is already which that ring.
Yep.
That's
right here.
which is already
You guys are making me so much.
First flying machine that Yash was talking about.
Ravana has a flying machine which is Pushpaka Vimana, which you saw in the trailer. That's envisioned then, back then, where we didn't even have the concept of flying objects. So it's already, we are not having, it's there.
That's incredible. We've talked about the global impact, the global scale, and the global creators, and I think two incredible examples are Hans Zimmer and A.R. Rahman. That is East meets West. That is so special. And we actually, just for you guys, so again, cameras down if you don't mind, we have an exclusive clip with that experience just for you in the room. Let's play that one.
Woo.
Hello, Comic-Con. I'm Hans Zimmer, and I'm here with my really dear friend, ingenious, that is A.R. And together, we are setting off on a journey that has never been done before. I think it's really interesting that I, as a European, get to immerse myself and listen to this man tell me about the God. This is where I think it's very important that A.R. and I are working together, because music brings people together. So to be able to make music with him, that is a gift from the gods. It really is. We have something that is thousands of years old that reminds us of our moral duty, that reminds us of who we are, that reminds us that we should be at our very best.
And that is what excites us most about this project. To continue to share in Ramayana with audiences around the world. Few words versus scale, legacy, cultural significance of Ramayana. It has been an extraordinary journey to help bring this enduring epic to new audiences across generations. Thank you, Comic-Con. We can't wait for you to experience Ramayana.
Every question I've asked today, I've thought of like 10 more, and I can't cover all the experience, which is the mark of a beautiful piece of art. But I want to ask you guys, we've only got time for you, but there are microphones. We're only going to get time for a few. I'm going to warn you up front, but let's take it away. Whoever's up first. Oh, is it on and is it low enough? We need to
Hi guys, thank you so much for bringing this to Comic-Con. As an Indian film fan, it's so exciting to see these worlds come together. Quick question was, considering that this is like one of what was more frustrating or interesting, having an audience be either overly aware of the story, they're super familiar with it? Did you butt up against that, or is it more fun going into it assuming the audience has no idea? Which one would you prefer?
I think Ramayana itself has a mix of both because there's a whole generation. India itself is over 1.5 billion people, and there's a lot of us who kind of grew up watching the Ramayana, and our children don't necessarily know as much. So when we think about it, in fact, when Nitesh and I talk about it through the entire writing phase, you were always like, yeah, we know this, but our children don't. Like, how do we try and make it relevant for our parents, ourselves, and our children? Because film or a story like Ramayana is actually multi-generational, and it really touches upon all age groups.
That's not completely empty yet.
All genres of filmmaking. So it's very exciting because you've got something that rarely comes across in a film or a story like, which actually can be very, very universal. So to me, it's an interesting challenge because you have familiarity and a lack thereof, at the same time.
Thank you so much. We got time for one more question, because then we got one more surprise as we take off.
Hi Ranbir, I'm Shweta, I love you. How are you feeling? How's your eyes now?
What's your good name? Shweta?
Yeah.
Shweta. Well, my eyes are a little better. I got a virus. I don't know how you know about this. But thank you. So, that just explains why I'm wearing sunglasses. Sorry? Okay, probably. But I'm much better. I'm feeling so much better. The fact that I can feel you guys, I can take this energy back home, and it's just been one of the most extraordinary days of my life.
I'm glad you made it. So my question is, the Ramayana has inspired generation across the world, and I remember since childhood we have seen Ramayana with our family. So I have 5 and 3-year-old. I'm gonna take them to watch this movie. So just wanna know what you guys did differently. My kids get this message and they feel comfortable watching this movie and learn our culture and religion. So I'm very excited to take them to watch this movie.
I'm so happy. I'm very excited to take my daughter also to see it. It'll probably be her first film on the big screen. But like you said, the Ramayana has had versions over the years. It's on radio, musicals, street plays, as we know of the Ramayana. There are so many various movies being made over the years. And I think the text and what the Ramayana teaches you and the spirituality that it contains, you can make it every month, every week. Complexity at the same time, there's so much of simplicity. There is so many learnings. There's so much of spirituality in it. So I believe like this is the best version of all the people that came together on this film. Over the years, the next few years, the next 100 years, there will be many versions, and I'm pretty sure that over the years, the next few years, the next 100 years, there will be many versions, and I'm pretty sure that they will be as good as this or the ones previous to this.
Thank you very much. It's a great question. So I do have unfortunate bad news. We are out of time, but as a consolation prize, I want to take a picture with these legends, with this crowd. So if you had a question, you can come up to this barrier and be at the front. But that's the best I can do. But you guys want to take a picture real quick with this amazing San Diego Comic-Con crowd? All right, can we get the lights up a little? And we got one more surprise this week for you folks.
We have Shakti Man here, also one of a very big character from India.